Okay, everybody, thank you for joining today. I will start now with the presentations about 5 steps to work remotely. I base this on my own experience, so this is not something like from the thin air. This is not another get rich quick scheme or anything like that. Uh, this is basically for serious people. I'm not selling anything on this presentation. I just want to share my story, what I know about steps you need to take to be able to work remotely. Okay, let's start. So if you stay with me until the end, there will be a small bonus for you. It's very useful, by the way. It's a list of 10 tools I'm using to make my remote work effective and just easier. So I think it's very good to know those tools. For example, some of those probably you know, but I'm pretty sure that there are on this list tools which you didn't hear about and which really can make your life much easier. Okay, so what you will learn today. So I want to tell you a little bit more about how to start remote work, and most important facts about this. So one of the things which is super important is how you will get your clients, right? This is the question every freelancer is asking himself every day in the morning, like, okay, how I will get new clients today? Because as you are starting, probably you will be starting from zero clients, zero connections, or like very few connections. And it may be very stressful on the beginning. So I will try to tell you a little bit more how to make it this transition from like office work to remote work more smooth and without bigger issues, right? Um, okay, then we'll talk a little bit more about the technology, what we use, what tools we use to make this remote work possible, and how to work with clients remotely so that they will be happy and you will be able to just do your work effectively. Um, Next point is how you can become someone like a go-to person in your niche. So if, for example, you want to be a virtual assistant, how you can become an expert uh, in this area and how you can grow your reputation. And as well with this process, you will be able to charge more money from your clients. Um, and next, we'll be talking about when you already have the authority in that niche, how you can build something more than just one person freelancing gig. How you can build like remote company or small agency uh, based on your skills and what you want to do. Um, of course, it will be all on your conditions. So that's very important. You can fit your job to your lifestyle, um, and yeah, we will talk about the best practices and how you can scale your business. Okay, let's move. Next point. So for many people, it looks just like on this slide, like it's a big step. Like what if you resign from your work? What will happen next? Like I know what is the fear in your head. Like okay, my savings will run out, and I will be jobless, homeless, and so on. So we want to avoid that, and this kind of mindset is definitely bad for you, and it will not help at any point of your remote work career. Um, okay, so there is a certain cost of everything, and switching the career to remote work certainly can be very expensive. I had myself situations where I was almost out of money, and I remember those situations really well. And I remember what took me there and what took me out of that situation. So I will also share that with you. And with these presentations, I will try to show you what mistakes I have made and how I got out of those problems. Okay, so let's jump straight into this. So who I am. My name is Kamil. I'm currently living in Japan. Um, I'm from Poland. I was born in Poland, and after university, I have left my country because I wanted to travel. I wanted to experience something more. I have been working in Poland for around 3 years for one interactive agency. From my background, I am programmer, computer programmer, and I was tired of that. So I decided, okay, so what I can do to change my situation. And I made a plan, and 100 days after making this commitment, I left the country and moved to Canarian Islands, which are on the coast of Africa. This is still part of Spain, so I didn't need any visa for that. And it's just wonderful place. I was living on Tenerife and Lanzarote. Those are very beautiful islands. And I was working from there. Then I moved to London. I was living there some time. And after that, I moved to Tokyo, Japan, where I am right now. And in terms of business, I always had this entrepreneurial spirit. I always wanted to build something. And my first company I had during my university in Poland, it was about creating websites and this kind of stuff. I was finding first customers, like I didn't know anything about business, but I was just trying to do that. Now I know certainly much more about that. I made some crazy mistakes, but yeah, it was worth it. And right now I have company in UK, so trader company. I have company in Japan, fresh opened. It will be agency for uh, for web design, marketing, and so on. And also I have company in Estonia for my software as a service. I have some websites, some tools for in different fields. And Estonia is just brilliant for this kind of business, as well as for freelancers. I will tell you a little bit more about that later. So I had these different experiences as well. I had company in Hong Kong, which I closed. This is longer story, so I won't make it too long. Okay, so maybe that's enough about me. It was anyway too long, so let's move to the next slide. So the most important thing when you are planning to start freelancing, you need to prepare really well. So the most important thing, don't quit your job. Not at this moment. Okay, this is not a good time to quit your job. So first, I advise you to get some savings, and for sure you need to decide what you want to do as a freelancer. What will bring you the money? What will be your profession, right? So as we talked on chat before, someone has a plan to be a graphic designer. That's brilliant. Someone is into administration, so maybe virtual assistant or content writer or anything else. You can do whatever you want. But you must decide and decide. I advise to follow the terms what I can do well and is best paid from the things which are out there, right? So if you have some skills in mathematics, maybe you should get some interested into programming, right? Maybe if you have some graphical some talent about the design, you should do some graphic design, right? So just try to imagine for which profession, which skill will give you the most money, because that's extremely important. You don't want to end up doing some really shitty job you don't like and you are not skilled at, just because there was an offer online and you took it. That's not what we want to do. So when you decide, you need to learn this skill, and you can do this for free. You don't need to go necessarily to university to acquire the skills necessary for online work. Even if you want to learn programming, which is a very complex skill, in my opinion, you can learn some basic programming skills to take the first job as a junior programmer without going to university. It will, of course, will be challenging. It will require from you some time to, just learn, do some online courses, which, by the way, are free. You can find a lot of very good materials for learning on YouTube or Udemy. Udemy has some paid courses, but they have something for free as well, Coursera, and so on. So if you find those courses, and it's not very difficult to find them, just Google it and you will find this for sure. Just focus on that, learn the skill, and the goal is so you feel more confident about that skill and your ability to deliver some value to the clients, right? So what's the next step? Next, you need to build some portfolio. And as a graphic designer, that's super simple. You just, if you want to design websites, just design website. Just imagine something. Or the good practice also, I heard about this, that some people redesign existing websites. So for example, you think about website you may like, for example, Twitter, right? So imagine how Twitter could look more cool, more beautiful, and just design that. And then when someone will be asking, oh, okay, show me what you can do, right? You just send them the link. You can find websites online where you can put your portfolio for free. For graphic designers, writers, the most difficult it will be for virtual assistant, actually, because how you will prove that you can do the job. But if you did that job before and you have references from your company you work for, like stationary job, you can show that, and this will be enough proof for most companies that you are qualified. So this problem also can be solved. So when you have portfolio, just show this to the clients. It doesn't need to be perfect. Don't wait until it's perfect. I would say that, because if you don't, you probably won't be applying for like senior graphic designer straight away or senior programmer, because those require a little bit more experience and more time. But if you did that job before, of course that's possible, right? So portfolio, if you have that structured well enough, then what you need to do is to get references. And that's super important, because one is portfolio, like, okay, maybe he or she took that image, that text from someone else from the internet, right? Some people don't believe that. They want something more, right? And here comes the references. If you have reference from your ex-employee, if you have reference from your ex-customer, that's the best proof. And the more you have, the stronger is this proof, and the easier it will be for you to get new customers and to also rise your rates, which is very important. Okay, let's move to the next part. So you want to be a little bit like that guy. He's really well prepared. Like you can see that he doesn't make his feet wet, and yeah, he knows what he is doing, what is his goal. Okay, so 3 ways to find clients online. Actually, there are much more ways, but let's discuss the most important one, which will bring you the fastest results. Okay. So first, marketplaces like Upwork, Freelancer, Guru.com as well. Um, those places can be very good when you are starting to build your portfolio, working for the clients, of course, to get more experience, feel even more comfortable, just level up in what you are doing, and then with what you have with that, you can also scale your business to different methods to get the customers. So a few important things about marketplaces. Marketplaces are really customer centric, not freelancer centric. So freelancers are not very important for them. And you need to keep that always in mind. So one thing, you need to have a very beautiful profile with references, with portfolio, with really well written description of what you do. And you should be very concrete, not like jack of all trades when you I can do this, and this is like 10 different things in 10 different areas. You can't do that. This will let you nowhere. And I saw freelancers with this kind of description, and I never take them for any work, because I know that, okay, they are just fishing for anything, and this is not good. But if you, from the day one, you should specify what's your specialty, like what you want to do. And to do that, also you can search a little bit, see how the most popular freelancer profiles look like, and based on that you can build your own perfect profile. So this is one thing. Number two, you will be getting the clients, and you can do that by offering a low rate when you apply for the job. But there is big but. You discuss with the clients through, for example, Skype. Probably that's the best place. Don't use the internal communication on the platform, because in some cases they can ban your account if you try to get the customer out of the platform, and of course it will be bad for you. So this is one thing. Try to convince the customer to, one, pay upfront, super important, and have a contract. Probably a reverse order. First have a contract, then pay upfront. That's super important. Why is that? Because many customers, you will see that they give negative review. And imagine the situation. This is my story, by the way. I had a very nice account on a very nice profile on Freelancer. I did several projects. They were not super big, but they were good clients. I got 5-star review. That was my norm, right? And then I started scaling up my team, and one of the employee was very slow. I didn't notice this at the beginning. It was new employee. I gave him one project. It was one of the bigger projects, but it matched his skills 100%. So I was confident in my lack of knowledge and experience that this guy can deliver. So the time was going, the project was not ready. The work was progressing, and I was updating the client, and client wasn't complaining at all during the whole process until we sent him the final version, delivered the code, and then what happened? He gave us 3 stars. And because it was one of the biggest projects, our rating from 5 stars dropped until 3.5 stars or something like that. And this was the end of this account, basically. So you need to watch out what kind of clients you take on your main account. There are solutions for that. Like, if the client doesn't agree to go with the contract outside of the platform, then you need to create a separate account, a second account for small fraction of the work for him, and convince him to work through that account. And when he will get more confidence in what you can do, he will be happy with your work, then sign the contract and get him outside of the platform. Unfortunately, this is because the marketplaces and how they work, how they don't respect the freelancers. You need to protect yourself and protect your business, because one stupid mistake and you are losing your account, your good rating, and you are gone. You won't have a second chance. So this is extremely important, and keep that in mind. Those are kind of hacks, tricks I have learned from other freelancers. I had made my mistakes, as I told you, but you don't need to. You don't need to pay this price. So next possibility, regular remote jobs. This may be perfect for many people. So if you just don't want to commute to the office, but you're comfortable with working for one client all the time, you can just choose the a regular remote job. So there is company for which you work 8 hours per day, every day, Monday, Friday. They are happy, you are happy. Their company culture is supporting remote workers. You provide value. Everyone's satisfied with this kind of situation. So there are several sites I could recommend for you. For example, we work remotely.com, remote.co, remoteok.io, or stackoverflow.com/jobs, and you can check there in the search terms to just choose the remote jobs. So this is very safe option. If you choose that, you need to be aware that you won't be building a business this way, because they require your personal presence at the desk in the specified hours. Maybe at the desk means, okay, your desk in co-working space in Bali, but it will be still a desk, and you won't be able to scale your business this way. So it depends what you need in your life. For many people, it's a very comfortable option. Next, method number 3. So what you can do, you can use your personal network. If you work before for normal company, you can keep the contacts. And I know many people who just make arrangement with their boss and say, okay, maybe I could still work part-time or do some specific task, and I will just invoice you, right? And of course, you will need to start a company, and I highly advise that to start company for your freelancing business, because you will look more serious, basically, and more professional in many ways. So this is one thing, your personal network. Next, networking events. And this, of course, depends where you live and where you want to work, right? Because if your country is maybe not very rich, then you want to find the clients from more wealthy countries, right? Where the currency is stronger. So this may be not the option for you. But if you're living, for example, in the United States, UK, Japan, wherever it is, you can try networking events. This is very good source of leads, connections, and opportunities. And I highly advise that you try that. Next option, which I tried myself as well, are trade shows, exhibitions. What I did, I just make a business card with my website in my phone, went to the trade show, and asked people one after another, I do this and this. I'm looking right now for new customers. I'm starting this business. I was working for this and this company before. I have experience. Here is link to my portfolio. Take a look. Maybe it will be something your company will find useful. Just start the conversation. Don't be super selling and so on. Just start the conversation. Human contact is very important also in remote work. Next thing, Facebook groups, and those can be super effective. I know so many groups, and I saw it last week even so many times. Someone is writing, Okay, who do you recommend for making a website, who to make a logo, to design a website, or I'm looking for VA, English speaking, whatever. Those are the real opportunities, and it's enough if you, when you see something like that, just write, hey, I'm free, let's talk. I send you a private message. Bam, done. You have already a great opportunity to get a client. And what's important, like when on the marketplaces, your competition can be like 50 people in if you are trying to get a good VA job. Then on Facebook groups, your competition may be like 10 people, for example, maybe even less, depends. And you have much bigger chance to stand out from the crowd, message directly, and grab attention of your customer. So this is a very good method. Okay, let's move on. So tools, what tools you will need for remote work? And this is just a fraction what I put into the bonus I prepared for you at the end of the presentation. So let's talk about that. So the most important, uh, tools for you will be Skype, Slack, and email. Those are basic. You probably use it already. Nothing special, but it makes our lives so much easier. Then I need to recommend to you. I mentioned the contracts before, right? So you may think, okay, I will be traveling in somewhere in Indonesia, for example. How I will get that document printed, signed, and scanned in the reasonable time? So there is a very easy way to do that. You don't need to print it and scan. That's for starters. So what you can do, you can you usually get the contract or send the contract in form of PDF, right? Just normal document. Then you go to this platform, hellosign.com. There is no affiliate links. I'm not affiliated with any of the tools here besides taskeo.co. I will tell you about that later. But HelloSign is very simple to use, and you upload the document there. You need to like make photo of your signature, upload it to HelloSign. Then they extract this, and you can put your signature in as many places as you want. You just download that, save, send to your customer by email, and it's done. So it takes like 5 minutes for me to sign documents, even less. Perfect solution. You don't need to waste your time to or bring your printer if you travel somewhere. Just brilliant. Next tool, as I told you, I'm affiliated with this one in terms, I'm the creator. There is no other affiliation. Taskeo.co, it's the tool to organize your work. If you are thinking that at some point in your work you will have many different tasks, then many different projects, and you will need to collaborate with other people and somehow handle this chaos, Excel spreadsheet may be not enough for that, especially when there is a lot of day-to-day communication. Someone will forget to update the spreadsheet. There will be some misunderstanding. You can avoid that by using the tool which organizes your work into projects, tasks, and everything like that. And yeah, because of that, I created Taskeo because I work remotely with many people, and then I needed the tool which will just fit my work style. So this is the tool created with freelancers and remote workers in mind. And also it integrates with Slack. So on Slack, you will be able to get notifications that something was completed. If you work on Slack already, then it's super simple process. Next is Zapier. Zapier is very good for automation. So if you are getting, for example, leads from one source and want to put that in the spreadsheet because you need to organize it in some way, Zapier is super good to do like very boring tasks and connect different systems. So I highly recommend that. Zapier can be like life-saving tool for many people in many cases. Next, Google Docs and Google Drive. Um, in some projects, you need to store and handle a lot of files. Sometimes those files can be pretty big. So to keep that organized, I advise to keep that on Google Drive, documents on Google Docs, and you will have access to those every time you have access to the internet. So almost all the time, right? If you travel, just download the documents you need for work. I don't know, in train, plane, whatever you use, and you can also work like that. But what is also good with Google Docs is that you can share the documents and collaborate on the document with the client, with other people. So it's very simple to organize this part of work as well. Next tool is Toggle, and what this tool does. Some clients will require from you that you provide to them very detailed report at the end of the month, what you are doing, right? If you work with hourly rate. So how you will measure that? Sometimes, during the day there are many distractions. You will forget to put some task, and at the end of the month, you look at how many hours you put into the spreadsheet, for example, and it's not 160, not even close. So Talk will be very helpful for you. You can track for each task you do how much time you spend on that task. Also in Tasko, we have such feature to produce reports. And those reports you will be able to send to your customer and just show them, okay, we work on this, and that. It took that much time. Here is the report. Here is invoice. Done. Okay, so this is about the tools, and there are many more tools. Some of them, the most useful ones, I have described in the bonus. You will see it shortly. Let's move to the next part. So what you can do to actually make more money as a freelancer and to just show that you are professional, right? So you need to become authority, and how to do that. One important thing is I would wait with that until you leave your day job. You can start some preparations, but don't go extreme with that, because some companies, when they notice that you are starting branding yourself this way, it may make your life harder. And yeah, I've had such experiences myself. So just watch out for that. It doesn't happen in every case. Maybe your boss at your normal job is very understanding and just human. But if you don't know all the people and how they react on when you are starting to do something on your own, so be careful. So well, after you leave your day job, what you can do? You can update your LinkedIn profile and make it look super professional. And everything on your LinkedIn profile should be done with one purpose: sales and only sales. Don't brag about some experience which are not necessary there. Don't brag about schools like middle school. That's not necessary. Experiences, responsibilities, what you can do, what you are selling, what you are offering. That's super important. LinkedIn can be very good and effective tool for sales, but it must be done wisely. So this is the best step. After I have just updated my profile photo on LinkedIn, I got like 3 to 4 times more requests to contact, to talk with people, and this just works instantly. And after updating the profile even more, it helped even further. So what besides that? You can write articles, and those should be published on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Medium. Medium is super effective, and there are many professionals. And I saw the situation when someone wrote an article about some niche topic, and then they got requests from the clients. Okay, I saw this article. It was very knowledgeable. I see that you know what you're doing. Could you please do that for us, because we just don't have manpower and nobody wants to do that in our company. And this way you can get the customers. So this is one of the ways. Next, you can start YouTube channel. It's not for everyone. It's not necessary for everyone, but in some professions, it's also very good channel for selling. Um, Become a member of online communities like Facebook groups. Super important, super effective channel for sales to also educate yourself in many aspects of the business, to network. You know, jobs and also online jobs, remote jobs, those are not from thin air. If you have connection with someone, then it's much easier uh, to, to, to get it. Next is you can answer some questions on Quora. Um, I kind of will probably stop recommending that soon because Quora is like very spammed right now, uh, and like overcrowded. So you can try that, but kind of keep it for like last thing to do. What you can also do, you can be a guest speaker on podcasts, and many podcasts are looking for interesting people to interview. If you do interview, you can put this later on your social media, show yourself as an expert in this area. It works really well. And then you can also apply to speak on some conferences. Show that you know the topic, that you are expert, you are a go-to person. This can bring you instantly. Like imagine on conference you can have 100, 200, even more people listening to you. And then after conference, many people will want to reach out to you, connect with you, and maybe they will have, for example, job offers for you as well. Okay, next important thing. Uh, Remote work and finding and switching to remote work is not a sprint, it's a marathon. You need to remember that. So if you're thinking about marathon, also in terms of business, you may think that okay, first part is like building your basic income, right? You start with something small, you just yourself, nobody else. You build your client base. What you can do after that? Then you can become authority. Okay, so after you get that, you are recognized, you get better clients, you get paid more. That's awesome, but that doesn't necessarily need to be the last step. It can be just the beginning. You can build a company based on that. Um, so growing carefully, step by step, you can really become like a remote company, hiring people, and you being just basically organization. Um, so as soon as you get to the point when you are feeling comfortable with your business, with what you are doing and your income, you should start slowly to outsource part of the work. Maybe it will be just virtual assistant to handle, I don't know, some client. Maybe like account manager who will just talk with clients, and you will get just the meat, what needs to be done. And then you hire someone who will maybe do part of the job for you, and then another person. That build your team slowly and carefully. The first few hires will be the most important, because if you hire bad person at the beginning, uh, it may end just with a big disappointment. Like I had several situations. Right now, I'm not making those kind of mistakes. Almost all my hires are like 100% good, but still sometimes someone sleeping, and there are several problems. So building a team is hard, but it's definitely possible if you are careful, if you put enough time into this process. So what's important with this first employees, and even later, you need to monitor, check, and supervise them. That's super important, because if not, you will start losing your customers, and it's much harder to get new customer than find someone who will do the job, other person. So your customers are the most important asset. Then are people. if you get those two things right, you can grow without limits. So after your team grows a little bit, then you will need virtual assistant. That's for sure. And yeah, I myself sometimes hire virtual assistant. Depends on the project, basically. But if there is team bigger than 5 employees, I highly recommend that, because then the amount of task and communication between team members can be just too much to handle, and just person who is well organized and just focusing on the organizational stuff is very important. And what's also important, you need to create like internal processes. So, for example, if you know how to get new customer, and okay, I go to Upwork, I apply to this many jobs, more or less, and I get this kind of response rate, like 20% maybe will respond to me, then I need to do calls with them, then maybe another 20% of that will become my customers. So make a process. And then if you have process, if you know exactly the steps, or for example, if you do graphical design, so what you need to get requirements from your customer, then maybe prepare some mockups, then get those mockups approved, then you move on and on. But there is process for almost every job, even the creative one. So make this kind of process, make it on paper, and then you have very big chance to just outsource the job with good effects, right? Because if you don't know the steps how to do something yourself, then you are basically giving your employee just figure it out. That's not very good approach, especially on the beginning, because if you have like team of 5 people, you should be the person who knows every aspect of the business. This is too small team to be thinking like, oh, I'm a big businessman. They need to know what they are doing, and I can just sit and watch Netflix. Doesn't work like that. So you need to know every aspect on the beginning. Of course, as your company will grow, then you will make people responsible for parts of your business, and you will definitely not want to know what is happening there. You will just take the reports, see the numbers, if it's going well or not. If it's not going well, you find the reason, or tell the person to find the reason for that. Right? There are many ways, but definitely processes are something important, and you need to invest time into building those. Okay, so if you allow, I want to speak a few minutes about what I'm doing right now. I mentioned before about Pascal. This platform, this tool will be released maybe next week. And what it does, it just allows you to work more effectively. So if you would like to more know, just go to taskel.co and see what we have there. I don't want to be selling here. It's just good tool, and it will be even better with time. We are now like entering beta test. If you want to be beta tester, let me know. I will give you this tool for free. Just test it and let me know how it works for you. Maybe we need to fix something. Maybe you have some crazy good idea, and maybe there will be something other people will enjoy what you will propose. So I want to know your opinion. So what else? How we can work together? So one of the things, I'm running the small Facebook group for people who want to work remotely and entrepreneurs. It's called Remote Work Mastermind. You can Google it. You can, probably just check it on Facebook. Just type Remote Work Mastermind and you will find it. On this group, we'll be doing, starting tomorrow actually, live interviews with interesting people who are working remotely, who have some businesses, who want to share their knowledge, and those will be experts in their areas, in their niche. So the amount of knowledge which we will drop there is amazing. And this group is totally free, so you can join, no obligations. If you don't like it, just leave. If you find value there, stay with us. It would be awesome. Um, so I said earlier about the Tasco. You can try for free and check it out and let me know. I also offer private consultation, but it's not for everyone. If you struggle with something about remote work or your team is struggling, just let me know. I may be the right person to help you or not. Depends on the situation, right? One more important advice: not every customer is the right customer. Don't be fixated that you need to work with everyone, because it doesn't happen in real life. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Um, just life. It's like, with one friend you have good connection, with other person maybe you don't like to spend time with. It's the same with clients, from my experience. Um, okay, so do you have any questions? I will give me a moment. I will show you just this slide, not this one, this one. So when you join the group, the bonus is there. It's attached as a file. You can find it. For me, it's like in the right column. There is the file. You can just click it, download it. It's free. And going back, do you have any questions? I will be on chat. Ask me anything. Yeah. How can I help you? What are you struggling with right now about remote work? Yeah, tell me about your situation. Okay, you have problem with finding your first client. Do you have portfolio? Do you have some recommendations? And recommendations, for example, you can get recommendations on LinkedIn pretty easily. Just ask your friend to write something and hide that. Okay, cool. Okay, thank you for joining. Ashley, yeah, going back to your question. How are you searching for clients right now? Is this through platforms, or you are looking in the, I don't know, newspaper? How do you do that? What's your process for that? Because what we need to do, we need to narrow down the problem, right? Um, as well, if you have portfolio or profile, you can paste it here, the link. I can take a look really quickly and tell you. Okay, Facebook groups as well as online. In terms of online, what what platforms do you use? Because I understand you are looking for work as virtual assistant, or you want to do something different. You don't have portfolio. Okay. Um, but for sure you have prepared a CV, right? You're starting as virtual assistant. Okay. Um, do you have already account on Upwork or freelancer? Freelancer, maybe not the best platform to start, but Upwork should be okay. So what I would advise, if you don't have account on Upwork, of course, open it. And okay, you plan to join Upwork. Perfect. Open the account there, create beautiful profile, and try to get super simple tasks for which are for very small amount of money. Okay, this is the first step. Just to And after you do this, ask for review recommendation. Get at least 3 recommendations like that, so that your profile looks more complete. And after that, I recommend you don't take any more clients for this main account. You try to land the client who will be able to go outside of the platform with you. As I told before, it's very dangerous to get the clients on your main account. Just one bad review and you know your career is over. So yeah, I recommend that. Start with Upwork, build a beautiful profile, get the reviews, do something simple for start, and then try to get the bigger client outside of the platform. Nicholas, yes. So this is similar problem like with virtual assistant, right? Could you ask for recommendations, for example, from the companies you worked for before, like written recommendation? If you can ask for written recommendations from your ex-employee employer, then you can just scan it, and you can put this on your, for example, Upwork profile. And then when someone is checking your profile, they see, okay, there is some attachment. They see this attachment and they see this very good recommendation from real company, right? And usually there's also phone number. So this, adds up altogether so that your profile looks more complete, more trustworthy. So I would get, in this case, written recommendations before you get, try to get the customers. But the other way, same as with virtual assistant job, try to find very, very simple jobs for a small amount of money, which will take you, small amount of time as well. Something you can do like maybe a few hours during weekend. Don't overdo it. Just get something small, get good review for that, build at least 3 reviews this way, and then you have something to show. There is this proof, right? Someone used your service, it was reliable. Try to get the bigger customer, get it outside of the platform, and you should be fine. Yeah, because this is the best proof. If someone wrote it and there is a signature or like on the company paper, that works really well. And I do it always. I try to get a written recommendation, and then when I show this to people, they are like, this is real proof, not something. You can put whatever you want in your CV, but if you have the letter from different company saying that this person was responsible for this and that, and work, for example, 3 years, that's something. That's the proof. Okay, 3 years. It's hard to not work as a reliable person for 3 years in one company without being kicked out. So that proof is really best. So you are on the good way actually to start. So if you don't have any more questions right now, but you will you would like to ask something later, I will be on the Facebook group, of course, and you can catch me there. You can ask questions. I will try to help you. This is what I want to do. I want to build a community of people who work remotely, help each other, and share the knowledge, how we should do our jobs and get the clients and solve the problems we are facing. Because this is not like standard lifestyle for many people in many countries. There are like maybe 5% of people are working remotely, in some even less. So this kind of community is necessary to connect people, and we just need to help each other. Okay, guys, if you don't have any more questions, thank you very much for joining. Bonus, as I said before, you can find on the group. It's free to join and download it. Thank you very much for attending, and yeah, see you around. Thank you very much. Bye bye.